in the chat, especially sometimes we know that you may be using someone else's device. It might have your child's name, and we would love to refer you by your name. And also, at the end of today's chat, we will be having a special drawing, and we will enter your name. And lastly, just if you are not aware, we do upload these presentations in our LUSD Parent and Family Engagement YouTube channel. So you can share this presentation again with some peers, anyone else that you may know, a family member who has students here in our district, so that they can also take advantage of the information shared today.
Bienvenidos a la segunda sesión de nuestra serie Conocernos y Saludarnos. Escriba su nombre y apellido en la charla si no lo han hecho aún. Todos los nombres se ingresarán a un sorteo para un premio especial al final de la sesión. Solamente quiero que estén al tanto que estas sesiones están disponibles por medio de YouTube en LUSD Involucramiento de Padres y lo pueden compartir o pueden referenciar a este entrenamiento después de que haya terminado. Todos los grabamos.
So thank you everyone who's putting your names in the chat. So for those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Jasmine Velasco, and I work alongside my colleague Fana Blanco as Parent and Family Engagement Specialist under the EAI department. And today we're very excited to have our second session of this meet and greet series. So you'll get more information in a bit.
A los que no he tenido el placer de conocer, yo me llamo Jasmine Velasco y trabajo al lado de Fana Blanco, que es mi compañera, y en breve estaremos iniciando nuestra sesión, nuestra segunda sesión.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is Fana Blanco. And just before we get started, in order for us to facilitate a more effective workshop, we'd like to share some norms that will help us during our time together. First off, we ask that you do mute your microphone by clicking on the mute button when not sharing.
Buenos días a todos, me llamo Fana Blanco. Para que podamos gestionar un taller más efectivo, nos gustaría compartir algunas normas que ayudarán durante nuestros puntos. Les pedimos que por favor silencien su micrófono.
And secondly, we do ask if you'd like to turn on your camera. We would love to see all your faces, all your lovely faces. But if you don't feel comfortable, please go ahead and feel free to turn off your video. And finally, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ruby.
Thank you, Fana. Y segundo, siéntase libre de apagar su cámara de video si no se siente confortable, aunque sí nos encantaría ver sus rostros sonrientes.
And finally, we do ask for your patience in case we have any problems with connectivity. You know, we've had that in every meeting that we've had, so we do ask for your patience.
Y finalmente les pedimos paciencia por si tenemos algún problema técnico.
Okay, and then here are just a few additional Meet functions that we would like to bring to your attention. You may find them helpful during our time together. The first one is the chat box, which is located on the right-hand side next to kind of the shapes icon. And, you know, this one, if you feel free to type any comments or questions that you may have along the way. Go ahead, Ruby. I think you're muted.
Aquí hay algunas funciones adicionales que pueden resultar útiles durante nuestro tiempo juntos. A mano derecha existe la ventana del chat en caso de que quieran escribir algo en el chat. Para poder levantar la mano, el icono va a estar en la parte de en medio de tu ordenador. Y para salir de la reunión, solamente van a presionar el icono que tiene el número, que tiene el teléfono rojo.
Okay, I think Ruby, you went ahead, but I can keep going. The next one is the raise hand icon. So if you prefer to ask questions or comments verbally, please use the hand icon located directly in the middle of your screen to notify us. And when it's convenient to do so, we'll let you know when to unmute your microphone. And the last one is if you need to leave the meeting at any time, please go ahead and use the red telephone icon. As Jasmine mentioned earlier, this presentation will be uploaded onto our YouTube channel for your convenience.
Como Jazmín mencionó anteriormente, esta reunión va a estar disponible para su conveniencia en nuestro canal de YouTube.
Did we have someone with their hands raised?
Yes, we had Miss Elizabeth Gudiño.
Miss Elizabeth Gudiño, did you have a question?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta, Miss Elizabeth?
Or were you just testing it
out? No.
Okay, you're testing it out. All right. Thank you. Okay, and so last week we kicked off our meet and greet series with the Equity, Access, and Instructional Services Department. And as mentioned then, we know that it really takes a village to raise a child, as the popular saying goes, right? Now, today we have the pleasure of introducing you to additional members of your LUSD village, the Technology Services Department, along with Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, LAEDC team, who join us here this morning to share how they can support students and families. I think you're muted.
La semana pasada comenzamos la serie de Conocernos y Saludarnos con el Departamento de Equidad, Acceso y Servicios de Instrucción. Como se mencionó, entonces sabemos que realmente se necesita toda una comunidad para criar a un niño. Como hace referencia el dicho popular, hoy tenemos el placer de presentarles a miembros adicionales de su comunidad de LUSD, el Departamento de Servicios Tecnológicos, junto con el equipo de Corporación de Desarrollo Económico del Condado de Los Ángeles, que nos acompañan para compartir cómo apoyan a los estudiantes y las familias.
Okay, and then next week on Tuesday, September 21st, we have Student Services joining us. And on Tuesday, September 28th, we have Elementary and Secondary Departments. So that we hope that you will also be able to join us then.
Y la semana que viene, el martes 21 de septiembre, tendremos al Departamento de Servicios Estudiantiles y Educación Especial. Y terminaremos esta serie el martes 28 de septiembre con departamentos de primaria y secundaria.
Okay, and before we continue to introduce our special guest, I do see a hand raised, Ms. Rosa de la Torre. Did you have a comment or a question before we introduce our special guests?
Y antes de que iniciemos nuestra reunión, sí vi que alguien tenía su mano levantada. La señora Rosa de la Torre, ¿en qué le podemos ayudar?
Sí, yo nomás, buenos días, mi nombre es Rosa de la Torre, yo nomás quiero hacer una pregunta, porque yo a las 11 tengo un taller con el señor Tony del distrito, del programa migrante, quiero saber más o menos a qué hora se va a acabar la junta, si voy a terminar o no.
Nosotros tenemos previsto que íbamos a terminar a las 11, pero como apenas hemos iniciado, no hace mucho.
Y empezaron
pues,
tarde.
Sí, puede que vayamos a terminar un poco más tarde.
Ok, yo de todas maneras, pues a las 11 tengo que salirme para meterme al taller. Okay,
¿Qué le iba a decir? Para que pueda acceder a este taller, lo puede hacer mediante YouTube y solamente pone LUSD, involucramiento de familias. Y lo puede ver todo completo.
Ok, muy bien, gracias.
Sí,
Gracias.
gracias.
Hola, Yasmin.
Sí, saludos.
Igualmente.
And so without further ado, we would like to hand off the microphone to our wonderful Dr. Patrick Gettysbungle, our Assistant Superintendent of Technology and Innovation, to share with us how his team supports our students and families. Dr. G, I think I messed up your last name.
It was close enough. Thank you so much. And good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I know that sometimes when we have meetings in the morning, it can be difficult to have. I need to mute herself.
Y sin más preámbulo, nos gustaría entregar el micrófono al Dr. Patrick Gettysbungle, nuestro asistente superintendente en tecnología e innovación, para compartir con nosotros cómo su equipo apoya a nuestros estudiantes y familias. De parte del doctor, gracias por estar aquí.
So next slide again. So just a little bit about me. I am very fortunate to be here in Linwood, serving as the assistant soup for actually innovation and technology in the last 6 months. Before coming to Linwood, I actually spent 3 years at San Diego County Office of Education. I've been in public education now for 20 years. And so I started my career as a secondary math teacher, an administrator, a director. Been very fortunate to serve in 4 different organizations over the past 20 years, all with increasing leadership roles and responsibilities, all in Southern California, and most recently with the San Diego County Office of Education.
Un poco sobre mí, soy muy afortunado de estar aquí en Linwood desde los últimos 6 meses. Empecé mi carrera como un maestro de matemáticas, de ahí después desarrollé trabajo más de administrador y llevo tiempo trabajando con el condado de San Diego y ahora llevo en total 20 años de experiencia en educación pública, 3 años en el sector privado.
Thank you, Ruby. And I have also spent 3 years in the private sector, working as a web developer, programmer, and I have technology certifications in Microsoft, Cisco, and Oracle. So I love technology and computers.
También he pasado 3 años en sector privado como desarrollador de tecnología, de programas, gerente de proyectos, DBA de Oracle.
Next slide, please. So a little bit about who we are. We have some of our staff here on the call today, but as of today, we have approximately 30 staff across the district. We have 12 digital learning coaches, 2 at the district and 10 at our schools. We have 10 network and computer support technicians. We have, I think there's some missing numbers there, but we have actually 4 managers, 3 support techs, and then we have 1 secretary who's probably, kind of going crazy with us.
You said 3 support techs?
Yeah, that slide is off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Un poco sobre la división de tecnología e innovación. Desde ahora, a partir de hoy, somos 30 empleados en total. Un poco sobre quiénes somos. Tenemos unas personas de nuestro equipo aquí. Tenemos 12 coaches digitales de aprendizaje digital, 10 personas de apoyo de red y computadora, 12 entrenadores de aprendizaje digital, 12 personas de evaluación y responsabilidad, 4 gerentes y 3 personas de apoyo técnico y una secretaria.
Let me clarify, that was 3 assessment and accountability folks. And I think one of them is on the call today. We also have our assistant director as well.
Assessment and accountability.
Yeah.
3 personas de asesoría y de contabilidad.
So that should be 3 on that slide right there on the right. And then there should be, yeah, that one's off. That one should be actually 4 managers. So you can go to the next slide. That's fine. This is how we support all of our students, our parents, our teachers, our staff. This slide actually has, all the things that we do. There are pretty much 12 big areas that we really help support in, starting with the box on the very left. When it comes to accounts and passwords, we support the network and wireless, email and collaboration across the top. We also work on phones, making sure that all of our teachers, our staff, all of our schools have internet access and have access to a phone. We support software, installing software on computers. Cybersecurity is very important as well, making sure that all of the data remains private. We also support our administrative and business systems when it comes to payroll, accounting, HR, websites. Our district website is an area that we also really provide support in. And then when it comes to servers, when it comes to our backup, we want to make sure that all the data is well prepared. Our disaster recovery plans is an important aspect of us as well. So all of the servers, our backup, our storage is important. And as I mentioned earlier, we are also focused around digital learning, and we do have a team here that is focused around data, research, and assessment. And then we are always doing training and professional learning for our teachers. So that in a kind of one simple slide encompasses all the work that we do.
Y si ven ese dispositivo, quiero que vean cómo es que apoyamos nosotros al distrito en soporte, servicios y soluciones. Y así es como apoyamos. Apoyamos estudiantes, padres y empleados. Estas son las áreas grandes en las que apoyamos. También trabajamos con teléfonos. Trabajamos principalmente con cuentas y contraseñas. Red e inalámbrico, correo electrónico y colaboración, teléfono e internet, software, la seguridad cibernética, asegurándonos de que todos los datos sean archivados de una forma segura. sistemas administrativos y comerciales, sitios web, la creación de sitios web y gestionando que los sitios web estén funcionando de una manera efectiva, servidores, respaldo, almacenamiento, nube, aprendizaje digital, datos, investigación e evaluación y desarrollo profesional.
All right, next slide.
Próximo dispositivo, por favor.
Yep. To give you an idea of what we support here in this district, and we have all the people and what we do, but what we support is we have 17,000 Chromebooks. I think all of you as parents, all of your students should have received a Chromebook to take home and to use for schoolwork, homework, accessing the internet, things like that. We also support 1,800 tablets for our transitional kindergarten, our pre-kindergarten, and our kindergarten grades. We have about 500 iPads. Actually, that's growing as well. We may be having 2,500 iPads rolling out this year. We have 650 flat panels that we have rolled out to every classroom in the school district. If you haven't seen it already, it is coming. It will be installed soon. When it comes to teacher laptops, staff laptops, we have about 1,330 of them, along with our wireless access points. That's 1,400 access points that we support across the entire district. There is a wireless access point in every classroom, and that comprises of over 20 sites. So you guys know that there's 12 elementary, 2 middle, 3 high schools, along with our district office, adult school, when it comes to our internet services, as well as our wide area network. And that's what the WAN and the ISP stands for. We also support firewall and internet security as well. And then when it comes to our telephone system, VoIP, which stands for Voice over Internet, we support about 1,600 phones. And I'd love to have our Director of Technology, Jamal Boyce, who is actually on this call, share a little bit about what we do to support that.
Y quiero darles un repaso de qué es lo que apoyamos. Para darles una idea de qué apoyamos, tenemos 17,000 ordenadores, mejor conocido como los padres como Chromebooks, que son para apoyar a nuestros estudiantes y padres, 1,800 tabletas, 500 iPads, que ese número va a incrementar porque vamos a adicionar 2,500 más este año, 650 paneles interactivos planos. Si aún no los han visto, los vamos a estar instalando en las escuelas. También computadoras portátiles, estaciones de conexión y monitoreo para maestros, puntos de acceso inalámbricos con más de 400 conmutadores de red, filtro de contenido contra fuegos y 1,600 teléfonos. Y para el filtro de contenido de contrafuegos son más de 20 sitios. Y esto encapsula lo que son elementales, prepas y la escuela de adultos.
Hello, I'm Jamal Boyce, the Director of Technology. And yeah, so we have, as mentioned, we have 10 support techs and they support multiple sites. And so they receive tickets in regards to assisting the teachers or district staff and ensuring that there's connectivity in the classroom with the access points or the telephones or the panels as well. We're in the process of ensuring that all the staff are thoroughly trained on how to utilize those panels to improve their instructions with the students. The students love the display of the panels where they can interact with them as well, but we want more reliability as far as the connectivity with their devices. So when they bring their devices on campus, they're able to connect and have no issues. They're able to do their testing with no issue. We're trying to ensure that they have the devices they need, whether it's the Chromebook with cases, for those utilizing the virtual academy, we want to ensure that they have connectivity. So we're here to support both the students and the staff, as well as parents that utilize the resources that we provide to the various campuses. And I'll just keep it brief at that.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Jamal Boyce, el director de tecnología. Les quiero dejar saber que tenemos 10 técnicos de apoyo que ofrecen apoyo a las escuelas, asegurándose que todas las personas utilizando la tecnología tengan el entrenamiento adecuado para poder gestionar este tipo de tecnología. La meta es que cuando utilicen sus dispositivos los puedan utilizar efectivamente. Estamos para apoyar todo lo que son los padres, estudiantes y a nuestro equipo que trabaja aquí en LUSD.
Thank you very much. Next slide.
Próximo dispositivo.
So when it comes to how we approach our work and, you know, what we really kind of, our theory of action, if you will, we have a formula that we use. And this formula is really how we approach all of our work. And so at the very top of this, you know, when the formula, it really, when it's balanced, we have success. So when you have a vision, you have skills, you have incentives, resources, and an action plan, you really get success. And this is based off of Noster's model for complex change. And so every time that formula isn't balanced, there are things that happen, right? So if you're missing a plan, you know, there are false starts on the right. That's that second line on the very top. If you don't have resources, people feel frustrated. If you don't have incentives, there's resistance. If there's no skills, people get a little bit anxious. And then when there is no vision, people are confused. So making sure that we have this formula for our division and for our departments is very important for us when it comes to technology, when it comes to digital learning, when it comes to professional development, when it comes to all the work that we do as an organization here in this district. So, yep, Ruby.
Cuando viene a cómo trabajamos, tenemos una fórmula y este dispositivo que ven aquí es una fórmula de cómo abordamos todo, absolutamente todo. Y cuando hay un balance, existe el éxito. Cada que esta fórmula está fuera de balance, suceden los siguientes. Quiero que me sigan. Siempre y cuando exista la visión, las habilidades, incentivos, recursos y plan de acción, bueno, pues nos lleva al éxito. Si solamente hay visión, habilidades, incentivos y recursos, existen los arranques falsos. Visión, habilidades, incentivos y un plan de acción, frustración. Entonces, cada vez que estamos en falta de alguno de estos, de alguna de estas partes, existe resistencia o ya sea ansiedad o confusión. Entonces, es esencial que nosotros sigamos esta fórmula para que podamos ser un departamento exitoso y les podamos rendir de la mejor manera posible.
Thank you, Ruby. Next slide. So this is our vision statement for the district, and we really want to make sure that, again, that we accelerate digital equity and that we create modern learning opportunities through reliable and accessible technology. And we do that in three ways. We want to make sure that we provide support, that we offer service, and that we find solutions to address all of the needs across this district with parents, with students, with families. And that's our vision statement here.
Y eso que ven aquí es la declaración de la visión, acelerar la equidad digital y crear oportunidades de aprendizaje modernas a través de la tecnología confiable y accesible. Y de las formas en las que hacemos esto es brindando apoyo, servicios y soluciones, ya sea a nuestras familias, a nuestro equipo de trabajo y a las personas que trabajan en LUSD.
Next slide. And when I say digital equity, you'll hear later on today with our partners from the Los Angeles Economic Development Corp, a little bit more about digital equity. But when it comes to digital equity, our three focus areas is making sure that we have these three areas in place, right? So making sure that high-speed internet connectivity is provided to the home, whether it's free or low cost. That's a priority for our office. I know that some of the families, we've sent home hotspots, especially when they don't have access to the internet. And then the second one in the middle is around device and technical support. Every family and every student in our district has received a Chromebook to take home to use. We want to make sure that they have access to that device so they can, access resources and materials that they can learn with. And then the last on the right-hand side, which I know Fauna, Jasmine, our entire parent engagement team, along with equity, instructional services, and access, is really focused around skills training, making sure that digital literacy, computer literacy is an important aspect. I think it's important to know that our kids know so much more about technology than we do. And so embracing that and understanding, social media, understanding the tools that they use is an important focus for us as a division.
Cuando digo equidad digital, nuestros 3 enfoques son los siguientes. El bajo costo es una prioridad para nuestro departamento. Crear un futuro más equitativo para nuestros estudiantes y comunidad educativa a través de conectividad a Internet de alta velocidad en el hogar, gratis o de bajo costo. Ofrecerle dispositivos o Chromebooks y apoyo técnico a nuestros estudiantes. ¿Para qué? Para que puedan gestionar su educación de una forma más accesible y puedan acceder a recursos que les ayuden en su emprendimiento académico. Y al final, entrenamiento o talleres de habilidades virtual o presenciales en donde Fana y Jasmine, el Departamento de Equidad, normalmente se han ocupado de poder entrenar a los padres para poder gestionar mejor la tecnología y ayudarle a sus estudiantes de una forma más efectiva.
Next slide. So here's an example of some of the tools that your student, your child has probably accessed in the left column under elementary. The first line underneath there is our English language arts curriculum, and that's through Journeys and Study Sync. And if your child or daughter, son goes to secondary, they are using Study Sync on the right-hand side as well for English language arts. In math, the elementary curriculum is Go Math. On the right-hand side, you can see that logo. If you've seen that logo, math, I think it's the Houghton Mifflin math there. That's what they use. Under social studies on the left, it's called My World Social Studies. On the right, it's Impact Social Studies. So if you ever see those logos on textbooks that your child may get or on websites, that's the curriculum that they use. And then in foreign language, we have Senderos on elementary and then Auténtico from McGraw-Hill on the right. And if you ever see your child or access all of these resources, it's usually done through a portal called Clever, which is a single sign-on portal. So they should have only one sign-on to access all of these resources and materials.
Y aquí en este dispositivo están las herramientas de currículum digital. Quiero que vean a mano derecha está la escuela secundaria, a mano izquierda está la escuela primaria y aquí están los ejemplos de los recursos que sus hijos han utilizado. Dependiendo del grado escolar, quiero que tomen nota de los estudiantes, los nombres van variando. Entonces, como por ejemplo, si están en la primaria, utilizan Journeys, Study Sync. Si están en secundaria, también utilizan Study Sync, pero ya no dice Journeys. Si están utilizando matemáticas, en primaria sería Go Math, en secundaria sería solamente Seco Math. En escuela primaria sería My World para estudios sociales y Impact Social Studies para secundaria. Senderos para primaria en base a idioma extranjero y Auténtico para secundaria. Y para poder acceder a todos estos recursos, sus hijos solamente estarían utilizando una página que se llama Clever y solamente deberían de tener un correo electrónico para poder acceder, bueno, sus datos para poder acceder a este sitio web.
Thank you, Ruby. Next slide. These are some examples of the collaboration and supplemental tools that we offer. Of course, everyone here, if you aren't familiar with Google, you are using Google now. So Google is something that we use here in this organization throughout for our students, our staff. Every student here in this district receives an email account. So that's how they access all of their learning materials as well as communication. Google Classroom, Google Jamboard. There are so many tools that Google provides for us that I know that your child is probably accessing. Another tool that we use is called Newsela, which is really around texts that are written in 5 different levels. So that has a lot of current events along with fiction and primary sources. So if you ever hear your son or daughter actually access this tool or read about articles that's happening now, it's usually from Newsela. Pear Deck on the right-hand side is a tool that allows our teachers to make the slides more engaging, right? It allows everyone to see the same screen at the same time. And so that's a tool that our teachers use. On the left bottom is Flipgrid. Flipgrid is kind of like YouTube in a sense, but it allows for teachers as well as students to create video, right? And so the point of that is to make sure students are able to create their own videos to share what they've learned. And then in the bottom middle is Illuminate, which is what we use for assessment and testing. And then on the right-hand side, on the very bottom, is Discovery Education, which again has a lot of curriculum and digital content that your son or daughter may be accessing all the time.
Estos son los ejemplos de las colaboraciones y herramientas complementarias. Google es algo que utilizamos para nuestra organización. Todos los estudiantes recibieron un correo electrónico Google, un conjunto de herramientas de currículum digital y servicios de Google diseñados para la educación. Después seguimos con Newsela, que es en donde los estudiantes pueden acceder a recursos como nuevos artículos o eventos actuales, ficción, fuentes. Son textos de alto interés escritos en 5 niveles distintos. También utilizamos Peer Deck, que es para que hagan sus presentaciones un poco más interactivas para aumentar la participación de los estudiantes. Y después tenemos Flipgrid, que es como YouTube y le facilita a los maestros y estudiantes a crear videos para ver qué es lo que han aprendido. También utilizamos Illuminate, que es una plataforma de evaluación en línea, y al final utilizamos Discovery Education, que es contenido digital galardonado para todas las áreas curriculares.
Thank you. Next slide. And I'd like to also introduce our Assistant Director for Assessment and Accountability, Ricardo, who will talk to you a little bit about Aries as well as ParentSquare.
Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, can I have am I able to present?
Yes, one moment, Mr. Jurado.
Okay, thank you. While that's happening, I also just want to take a quick minute just to introduce the team so that works with Aries in supporting our school sites. So we have Miss Diana Hawkins. You can just say hi.
Hi.
We have Amy Maravilla, and we have Celia Lopez. All right, so we are the team in research and evaluation that supports our school sites with all things Aries, all things ParentSquare. And so I'm just going to give a brief overview of Aries, specifically the parent portal.
También, sin más preámbulo, presento a nuestro director asistente que hablará de Aries, Mr. Ricardo Jurado. Y mientras sucede esto, que nos ponen al dispositivo la presentación de Mr. Ricardo Jurado, quiere introducir al equipo Miss Diana Hawkins, Amy Maravilla y Celia López. Ellas son las chicas que están apoyando a todas las escuelas, junto con el señor Jurado, con este sistema que se llama Aries.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to share. Alrighty, so this is a demo Aries database for parents that I'm going to use. Okay. So when
Este es
I
un demo que utilizaré para enseñarles más o menos de qué trata esto.
A quick overview of this sign-in page. If you want to change the language to another one, you simply click on this drop-down and choose the language, and all of the content viewed will be in that other language. If you don't have a parent portal account, you can click to create a new account, and it will take you through the steps to do so. And if you've forgotten the password, you can just click that, and you'll receive an email from Aries with a temporary code.
Un repaso rápido. Para poder cambiar el idioma, solamente selecciona la flecha que está a mano derecha en la parte de arriba, la parte superior, y pueden seleccionar el idioma, y todo lo que ustedes vean va a aparecer en el idioma que hayan seleccionado. Si no tienen una cuenta, pueden crear una cuenta. Solamente le hacen clic y les va a enseñar los pasos para poder crear una cuenta. Si han perdido su contraseña, a un lado de donde dice crear una cuenta, hacen clic ahí en ese icono y les ayuda a poder recuperar su contraseña o crear una nueva.
And you can also download the app on either Android or the App Store. I'm going to
Y
go ahead
también
and
pueden arribar la aplicación por medio de la tienda de Apple o Google Play.
all right. When you first log into the Aries portal, you're good. If you have multiple children, you will see them here, and you can just simply click on their name to view the specific information for that student. Scrolling down, I'm able to view the student's classes. And if I click inside, I'm actually going to be viewing the various assignments that the teacher has provided. All right, the syllabus, the score that was given by the teacher. All right. So this is great information for me to use as the school year is progressing to, to ensure that my child is completing their assignments on time.
Cuando recién ingresan al portal, si tienen más de un estudiante, pueden hacer clic a la imagen en donde sale o aparece su estudiante, en donde les aparecerán las clases, asignaturas y calificaciones. Y de hecho, esta es una herramienta invaluable para que ustedes puedan ver el rendimiento académico de sus estudiantes y las asignaturas que se les están poniendo.
If I scroll down on the right-hand side, I'm also able to view my child's attendance, right? How many days have they been absent? So that's also great information that I can verify. If it needs to be verified, I can simply contact the school site. But this is a great summary for attendance.
Y también
Scrolling.
si bajas en esa misma, perdón, Ricardo, también si bajas en esa misma página en la que estás, en donde puedes ver las calificaciones y las asignaturas y todo eso, puedes ver la asistencia de tus estudiantes y te dice más o menos, bueno, exactamente cuáles son los días que han estado enfermos, tarde, cuáles son las faltas que no están excusadas y cuáles son excusadas.
And below that, I'm going to find the test results table. This includes results for the state's SBAC test, the old California standards-based test, but also that of the LPAT test for English learners.
También pueden encontrar las calificaciones que sacaron en cuanto a SBAC y LPAC para los estudiantes que son aprendices de inglés.
And that information, if I want more details on it, on the left-hand side, that's where I can find this information. Okay.
Y toda esa información, en caso de que yo quiera indagar un poco más, a mano izquierda de tu ordenador es que puedes acceder a toda esta información.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and exit the parent portal. And now I'm going to switch over to one other item.
Colorado, before you continue, we do have a question on who provides the verification code.
Oh, thank you. Yes, so the verification code, it is provided by the school site.
Antes de que sigamos, teníamos una pregunta. ¿Quién es la persona que provee el código de verificación? Y la respuesta es que sus escuelas son las que van a estar proveyendo este código de verificación. Ahora nos saldremos del portal de padres y les queremos enseñar otra aplicación más.
Okay. All right, so on the Aries portal, if you were to click on create new account to start that process, these are the 4 fields that you would need to create that parent portal account. The student's name, their permanent ID number, the primary phone number according to what's in Aries, and the verification passcode that the school site will have to provide.
En el portal de Aries de padres, para poder crear una cuenta, les voy a redactar más o menos cuál es la información que van a necesitar para que puedan crear esta cuenta. Lo primero es el nombre del estudiante, el número de identificación permanente del estudiante, el número primario y la verificación que reciben de la escuela, conocido como passcode.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to switch over into ParentSquare, which is the new parent communication tool. All right, and if the parents have not signed up yet, there's resources that show how to sign up. But once you're signed up, on the left-hand side, if you're using the web browser, the default page will be all of the posts that the school site has provided. Okay. One of the things I want to clarify, sorry.
I'm sorry. Ahora me iré a ParentSquare, que es la nueva aplicación que estaremos utilizando para podernos contactar con los padres.
With ParentSquare, the reason why, as a parent, I want to register my account is to be able to communicate with the teachers, right? That's one of the primary reasons, aside from staying abreast of all of the information coming out from the school site via all of the posts. If I need to initiate communication with the teacher, I need to have a ParentSquare account first.
Y el motivo de tener ParentSquare es para que ustedes puedan mejor gestionar la comunicación con los maestros. Entonces, si ustedes quieren contactarse con alguno de los maestros, lo primordial y primero que tienen que hacer es tener una cuenta de ParentSquare.
Okay. And I'm going to show the two ways that I can communicate with the teacher, beginning with the website. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on Messages. And I'll click on New Message. Here, I'm going to find the teacher's name, or I can find it by the class in which my student is participating.
Les enseñaré las dos formas de comunicación. A mano izquierda, en esta página que estamos viendo ahorita, sale el icono de mensaje y puedo hacer clic en el icono. Ahora la persona que va a recibir el mensaje puedes ingresar el nombre de la maestra o para que te saquen las opciones y puedas elegir cuál maestra es la que quieres contactar.
All right, so once I choose the recipient, the teacher, I just type in my message. If I need to include an attachment, I can. Otherwise, I can hit send. And the teacher will instantly receive this message via text. Okay. All right, if, for example, my text is in English, and the home language is in Spanish, the text will be auto-translated instantly.
Y una vez elijo al recipiente y el maestro recibe la notificación, ellos reciben esta notificación por medio de mensaje de texto. Si usted ha elegido en la aplicación de la escuela de registración que su idioma primario es inglés o es español, pues el mensaje que le aparezca a su maestra o maestro va a ser en el idioma que usted haya elegido.
Thank you. All right, so now I'm going to just do a quick, go through the handout for how you do this via the mobile app. Once it's installed on your phone and you open it, on the top right-hand corner, you would click on the plus sign, and then you would say message. Next, you input the recipient, similar to what I did on the website, and input your message and send it.
Ahora la segunda forma de poder contactarnos, les daré un repaso de cómo hacerlo mediante la app. A mano derecha superior de la aplicación va a estar un signo de más. Van a presionar el icono del signo de más. Después van a elegir al maestro o poner el nombre del maestro y que les aparezcan las opciones, elegirlo, escribir el mensaje y mandarlo.
Thank you. All right, and lastly, I want to show how to download the app. Okay, it's 4 steps. You download it from iOS or from Google Play Store. Next, once you open it, you will input your email or cell phone number. This information has to be in Aries. If it doesn't match, you would have to contact the school site. Once you do so and you create your password, you will receive an email with an invitation code. Once you verify it, you will have your ParentSquare account.
Y por último, les quiero enseñar cómo arribar la aplicación. Esto se hace por medio de la tienda de Apple o por Google Play. La info que ingresen tiene que ser la misma que está en nuestros archivos de Aries. Porque si esto no es así, van a tener que contactar al departamento de tecnología para que les puedan dar la información, para que ustedes puedan corroborar que la información que están poniendo es efectivamente la correcta.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Well, thank you, Dr. G, Mr. Jurado, and Mr. Boyce. We do have a question for Mr. Boyce. I believe in the chat, someone asked about the ticket. How long does it take to serve a request ticket?
It depends on the level of the ticket. I know, and we shared in the board meeting that we have 10 techs serving multiple sites, and so we're kind of inundated, and so we try to address as many issues as we can, and we try to do the high level issues, like if it's dealing with Wi-Fi, phone issues, anything with connectivities takes precedence over anything else, and so they try to address them based off their schedule. So, but if there's anything that has been lingering for some time, we ask the site admins to communicate that information to our management department so that we ensure that they get addressed. But yeah, I can't give really specifics until I know. It's case by case, but we try to address them within a reasonable time.
I would add to that, Jamal, just to add, one of the issues, some of the issues are sometimes beyond our control. As an example, just this morning or today, I know that some of the students are having issues logging into their Chromebooks. So that is a Google issue. So we've already emailed them. It's happening across. We're not the only ones experiencing it. But there's some students that aren't able to log into their Chromebooks right now, and we're trying to get that resolved with Google. So just know that to Jamal's point, yeah, it really depends on the actual problem that's presented to us. So on average, I would say, a day or two to resolve certain issues, but some of the other ones, when it comes to connectivity, like wiring, Wi-Fi, sometimes those issues can take longer than expected to get resolved.
Gracias al Dr. G, señor Boyce y Mr. Jurado. Alguien preguntó que cuánto tarda contestar un billete de servicio. Y bueno, el señor Boyce dijo que tenemos a 10 técnicos y estamos un tanto inundados, mas sin embargo, si es algo de red inalámbrica, es de urgencia y pues obviamente vamos a contestar inmediatamente. Y no es que no quieramos contestar, mas sin embargo es que tenemos muchísimo trabajo y no puedo ser sumamente específico. Después dijo el doctor G, unos temas pasan de nuestro control. Esta mañana varios estudiantes han tenido o han estado batallando al utilizar sus Chromebooks, mas sin embargo esto no ha sido un problema de el distrito, como por ejemplo que algo que podamos resolver, ha sido un problema de Google. Nos contactamos con Google y eso están gestionando para ver cómo pueden ayudar a nuestros estudiantes. Después el doctor G dijo que toma de 1 a 2 días para poder resolver cualquier tema tecnológico. Y no podemos ser sumamente específicos, pero normalmente tardaría de 1 a 2 días.
We also have another, thank you, Ruby. We also have another question in the chat. It's being asked if these presentations in regards, I'm not sure if it's in regard to ParentSquare, if they're going to be presented at the schools alongside the teachers so that the ongoing communication can continue in a timely manner.
También tenemos otra pregunta y la pregunta es que si estas presentaciones van a estar disponibles en las escuelas para poder gestionar la comunicación mejor entre las escuelas y los padres y maestros.
In regards to Aries and ParentSquare, we continually work with the school sites to host, if they want to host workshops for parents or other community members. we work with our sites to provide these workshops.
Conforme a Aries y ParentSquare, trabajamos en conjunto con nuestras escuelas para poder ofrecer talleres para que puedan acceder a estas aplicaciones como Aries y ParentSquare y mejor poder gestionar estas aplicaciones.
Thank you, Mr. Jurado.
Thank you, Mr. Jurado. I believe we do have another special guest, LADC team, EDC team. So we'd like to give them the opportunity. It is 10:53. So we'd like to give them the opportunity to share what they want to share with our families. And then we'll come back to the questions. Is that okay for everyone?
Tenemos a otros invitados especiales y nos gustaría darles el tiempo y el espacio para que puedan presentar. Más sin embargo, les queremos preguntar si eso está bien con las personas que están presentes aquí.
And we will also be utilizing the chat ongoing so that we can make sure that we can address your questions by the end of today's session, or we will do a follow-up. Thank you.
Y continuamente estaremos utilizando el chat para poder responder a cualquier pregunta que ustedes tengan. Al final de nuestra sesión también estaremos respondiendo a más preguntas.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. G and the technology team for sharing with our parents and families. And at this time, we'd like to introduce Ms. Araceli Sandoval Gonzalez and the LAEDC team.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. Are you able to upload the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, well, while you do that, so good morning and thank you for having us here today. Buenos días y gracias a todos por tenernos hoy aquí. Mi nombre es Araceli Sandoval González y estoy aquí con mi colega Suli. Suli, you want to say hi?
Good morning, everybody. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. So mi nombre es Araceli y estoy apoyando a la Cooperación de Desarrollo Económico de Los Ángeles y a la oficina de la supervisora del condado de Los Ángeles, Holly Mitchell. Espero hablar con ustedes sobre las barreras que pueden tener en su hogar relacionado a las necesidades de computadoras o internet de alta velocidad y de bajo costo en su hogar. Vamos a tener una conversación más a fondo en la reunión programada para el 23 de septiembre. Y estoy realmente agradecida de que nos hayan dado su tiempo para participar en la próxima conversación. Les adelantaremos que que inviten a más padres y abuelos para participar en la conversación del 23 porque queremos saber sobre sus desafíos relevantes a el Internet. My name is Araceli Sandoval Gonzalez, and I am supporting the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation and the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisor Holly Mitchell's office to talk with you about the challenges you may experience with high-speed, affordable internet and computer needs in your home, and at a future meeting scheduled for September 23rd. I truly appreciate your time for participating in the upcoming conversation, and we encourage you to invite more parents and grandparents to join the discussion. Do you have the PowerPoint? Thank you. And then you can just put it on slide 2, please. Perfect. Thank you. So why are we here today? This project is important because the latest census shows that the city of Linwood, not the district, but the city of Linwood has over 30% of households without internet service compared to other areas in Los Angeles County, which have under 3% of homes without internet. So we are looking to find the barriers to high-speed, affordable internet for your neighborhood. When we meet on the 23rd, it will be for 3 reasons. Este proyecto del que vamos a hablar el 23 de septiembre es importante porque información reciente del censo muestra que la ciudad de Linwood, más del 30% de hogares no tienen internet en comparación con otras áreas del condado de Los Ángeles, donde menos del 3% de los hogares no tienen internet. So estamos hablando de 30% a 3% es una gran diferencia. Buscamos identificar las barreras que existen en la comunidad para obtener acceso a Internet de bajo costo y de alta velocidad. Cuando nos reunamos el 23 de septiembre será por 3 razones y las pueden también ver en la pantalla. La supervisora Holly Mitchell y su equipo están interesados en comprender mejor los desafíos que pueden tener como residentes de Linwood con respecto a estar conectados o no al Internet. Sus comentarios ayudarán a mejor entender las necesidades de su comunidad y guiarán las prioridades de financiamiento para un posible proyecto futuro. Esto es otra vez para toda la ciudad de Linwood. The LADC is tasked with writing a report that will include your feedback and recommendations. No one will be identified in that report. This report will inform long-term planning for the Office of Supervisor Holly Mitchell when we meet. And when we meet, we will record the conversation and take notes, but know that the recordings and the notes will not be shared publicly and are simply to help with the report's writing. La LAEDC es la organización de la que estoy representando, tiene la tarea de escribir un informe que incluirá sus comentarios y recomendaciones y no se va a identificar su nombre en ese reporte. Lo que nos va, la información que nos va a dar va a servir para planificar a largo plazo y entregárselo a la oficina de la supervisora Holly Mitchell. Cuando nos juntemos el 23 de septiembre, grabaremos la conversación y tomaremos muchas notas, pero sepan que las grabaciones y las notas no se compartirán públicamente y simplemente nos ayudarán para escribir el informe. Queremos escuchar de usted como miembro de la comunidad sobre desafíos y éxitos que tienen 3 áreas. So we want to hear from you as a community member about the challenges in 3 areas. 1, getting high-speed and affordable internet in your home. 1, obtener internet de alta velocidad y 2, de bajo costo en sus hogares. And getting the right computer or tablet or smartphone that serves your needs. Obtener la computadora, tableta o teléfono inteligente adecuado que se adapte a sus necesidades. So, the survey that when we meet with you on the 23rd, it's really important, especially, we're all trying to recover from the health pandemic, and being connected to high-speed internet is so important. Not just for our students, but for you as a family, whether it's to buy groceries, to stay connected to your loved ones, to make appointments with your healthcare provider, to make your COVID, the COVID vaccine, you had to make an appointment online, paying your bills. So it's really important that we have this conversation on the 23rd. La pandemia lo que nos ha demostrado es que el Internet es súper importante, no nomás para nuestros estudiantes, pero para todas las familias, para estar conectados con nuestros seres queridos, para visitar al doctor virtualmente, hacer nuestras citas, hasta comprar mandado que lo entregan a su casa. So, nosotros queremos saber otra vez qué son las barreras para tratar de informar a la supervisora para traer esperamos un proyecto para la ciudad de Linwood. That's all I have. ¿Tienen preguntas, questions?
Thank you, Araceli. What we also did, we also linked the flyer to the 923 meeting in the chat, but this flyer has also been shared with our school sites, so we hope that our families have access to the details for this meeting. And we will also be reaching out in hopes that we can have the voice of our families heard. So if you're on the call, we also invite you to invite other family members who reside in Linwood and who have students here at our district to also come and share your concerns and also provide your input.
Thank you. And esto va a ser una gran oportunidad para otra vez tratar de traer algo para la ciudad de Linwood, aparte del buen trabajo que está haciendo el distrito. So the conversation that we're going to have on the 23rd is going to be really important to help guide the possibility of bringing internet to your city. And in addition to, we know that Linwood Unified is doing an amazing job, but we want to make sure that you all have equity. To me means that you all have internet as well, especially since we know that Linwood has 30% are connected. That's a problem, so, or not connected. Thank you so much, Patrick and team, for having us here. Gracias por su tiempo.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate all the support that you guys are also providing us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. And Araceli, would you like to repeat that in Spanish? The last few things that you said.
I'll go really quick and then Araceli. Lo que yo les mencionaba anteriormente es de que pusimos el volante en la charla. Tienen el enlace en la charla que los va a llevar directamente a los detalles de la reunión del día 23. Y los invitamos a que inviten a otros padres o miembros de la comunidad, como dijo Araceli, abuelitos, que sean padres de crianza, que puedan aprovechar ese espacio para dar su aportación y ellos puedan tomar las ideas que ustedes comenten para ayudarnos en este proyecto. Así es que, por favor, si pueden ver ese flyer o volante que está en la charla. Y vamos a nosotros mandar llamadas y más información.
Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias.
And I believe we have we do have some questions. We'll take some of these questions in a minute. Once again, we're getting close to the end of our presentation. And again, we couldn't have done this without Dr. G and all of his team. We thank you for being here and making the space to, share your expertise with our families. I know that this information is very valuable. Again, this information will be, this presentation is being recorded, you can access this information back again. If you need to go back to any of the information shared a little bit slower, or if you have any questions, go back to the presentation. And then at the end, we'll share our contact information so you can always follow up with us in any other way that we can support you. I'm not sure if Ruby is here.
I'm so sorry, I was on mute.
Go ahead, Ruby.
Creo que tenemos unas preguntas y responderemos a ellas brevemente. Le agradecemos mucho al Dr. G y a su equipo por compartir esta información invaluable. Pueden acceder a esta información mediante YouTube para que puedan ver la reunión que tuvimos un poco más lenta y de forma amena. Y brevemente les estaremos dando nuestra información de contacto en caso de que ustedes tengan algunas preguntas o quieran hacer comentarios. Estamos aquí para servirles.
And once again, so thank you again to the entire team. Next week, we will have the third session of this meet and greet series. We're going to be meeting with team members from the Student Services Department. So again, we invite you to join us for this power hour. We hope to keep it at an hour, no, a little bit, not more than an hour. I know we're a little bit over time today, but the goal is to give you some resources for you to meet your LUSD family so that we can better support you. So we hope to see you again next Tuesday, same time, same link, just with a new department, highlighting a new department. And also on the 23rd, like we mentioned, we're going to have the Digital Equity Input Meeting.
Gracias a todos, a todo el equipo. La próxima semana estaremos presentando Saludarnos y Conocernos con el equipo de servicios estudiantiles y esto se llevará a cabo el 21 de marzo, el 21 de septiembre, día martes 21 de septiembre, perdón, de 10 a 11 de la mañana y después. Jazz, you're good to go.
Okay. And I know that we might sound repetitive with this quote, and we use it all the time because we wholeheartedly believe in this quote by Henderson and Mapp. So if there's any volunteer who can read it for us, we would really appreciate it. Any participant that we have, whether if it's staff or a community member, a parent, any caregiver who would like to read the quote as we end today's session.
Y sé que sonamos sumamente repetitivas, mas sin embargo, si hay alguien que quiera leer esta cuota de Henderson y Mapp, sea alguien del distrito, quien quiera.
Ms. Jimena Montañez.
Yes. When school, families, and community groups work together to support learning, children tend to do better in school. stay in school longer and like school more.
Thank you,
Cuando
Ms.
les-
Carla. And
cuando
we
la
believe,
escuela-
oh, go ahead.
Cuando la escuela, las familias y los grupos comunitarios trabajan juntos para apoyar el aprendizaje, los niños tienden a mejorar en la escuela, quedarse más tiempo en la escuela y gustarles más la escuela.
I think all of us as family members who are caring for a child, this is the outcome or the goal we want for our children in our lives, right? We want them to really enjoy school and, you know, make the best out of it. So, and we believe that we need this village or support behind them. So once again, we thank you for being here and the team.
Creo que todos como miembros de familia tenemos esta meta y necesitamos a todo un pueblo para llevar a nuestros hijos a que tengan un mejor rendimiento académico.
And again, we close up with our email, engagingfamilies@mylusd.org. If there's any information that you need follow-up or any other topic that you, after listening to some of the information shared today, that you would like to get more information on or spend more time with, please, you can always reach out to Fauna Blanco or myself, Jasmine Velasco, at engagingfamilies@mylusd.org. And we will make sure to contact you, give you a reply, and continue to share the information that we have ongoing throughout the school year.
Y cerramos con nuestro correo electrónico, que es el siguiente. En caso de que haya preguntas, engagingfamilies@mylusd.org y nuestro número de teléfono es 310-886-1600, extensión 8132.
And I believe Fauna is getting ready to do our special drawing. If you entered your name in the chat, we would love to invite you to a coffee. We can invite you here, but we do send you, on behalf of the team, a little card for a Starbucks coffee for you to enjoy on our behalf. You can have it for the next time we meet again. So good luck to all of you.
Y ahora Fona está a punto de hacer el sorteo. Les deseamos mucha suerte. Les estaremos dando una tarjeta de Starbucks para que puedan disfrutar de un café por parte de nosotros.
Let's see, you must be present to win. So let's see.
Tienen que estar presentes para poder ganar.
Ms.
Está
Marta
Marta Salazar.
Salazar. Ms. Marta Salazar, are you in the call still? Going once, no,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay, let's try one more time, Juana. Thank you. And Maribel Gutierrez. Okay, great, Ms. Maribel. If you would please give us your email in the chat, we're gonna make sure that we send this gift card to directly to your email. So don't leave without giving us your email, please.
Maribel, te pedimos que por favor ingreses tu correo electrónico en el chat para poderte hacer disponible este regalo.
Okay, at this time, let's go ahead and take questions. I do see a raised hand.
Ahora estamos listos para recibir sus preguntas.
Ma Hernandez, would you like to unmute?
Sí, mi pregunta es, ¿los estudiantes pueden usar los programas que ofrecen en la escuela en casa como Study Science, Math, Impact Social Studies y todos ellos en casa los pueden usar también a través de Cleaver o solamente esos recursos son cuando ellos están en la escuela?
So my question is, will students be able to access all of these resources via Clever, or is it at home, or is it only when they're attending school in person?
So they're able to access it from home or in school, so both.
De hecho, los pueden acceder mediante, bueno, estando en casa o estando en la escuela, simultáneamente en los dos sitios.
But we need to make sure that you also have internet connectivity at the home too. So that's the other part.
Más sin embargo, nos tenemos que asegurar de que tenga una red, una conexión al internet segura.
Thank you, Dr. G. I believe we have.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted.
You're welcome. And we have Kaden Urias, or she just, Kaden, did you still have your question? Okay, Emilio's journey.
Hello, this message is from Ms. Araceli. Since you guys are advocating for families that have no internet services, will you guys be able to advocate also for the ones that have services that are paying high costs?
Yes, there's actually a larger conversation happening countywide. In terms of, this report is going to talk about the unserved, but there is a conversation about the underserved, underserved. But the goal is to bring something to the region. By region, I mean the whole county. But again, for this purposes of this conversation, we definitely just want to engage in terms of the needs, identify the barriers for Linwood, for the city of Linwood. And then we're also doing the same in Willowbrook because there's comparable needs there. But we also, I know that we do have information. Suli has done a great job of collecting information in terms of what are some affordable plans, and we can share that. Suli, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, we're just going to add in, like, that is a perspective that we're trying to get feedback on as well, is to better understand the affordability aspect for the community, so that we can bring that information in, as Araceli said, to kind of put that in a report so that moving forward, if more options will provide more competition and help drive that price down.
Yes, yes.
I would add that I put in a link in the chat as well. The FCC does provide some subsidies when it comes to the emergency broadband benefit program, but even that process to put in for discounts on a monthly basis is a little bit cumbersome, and it does require a lot of forms that you have to fill out. So there is benefits that the federal communications commission is offering, and I put the link in the chat. So if that's a service that might be useful to you, please take advantage of those dollars that are available. That can help, subsidize the costs.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be asking in terms of affordability, like what is considered affordable, right? Like that's a conversation that needs to happen as well. So.
Right, because I have two services, is AT&T and Spectrum. AT&T is $10 a month, but the speed is very slow. Spectrum is $60 a month, but it's good service. But I'm looking for. I have 3 students at home. I'm like, okay, so I go with the $10 slow network, or, I know it's a challenge right here right now. With it's a high cost just for Wi-Fi, $65. I was hoping that you guys also advocate for the ones that are home, paying a high fee for the services.
Yeah, and I would add that we are working with the city of Linwood as well to bring in additional options, so that way it's not just AT&T and Spectrum. It could be another provider that we're trying to bring into the city of Linwood to offer competitive rates as well. So I don't know what those rates are going to be, but we are looking at other options to try to bring in additional ISP providers to the city of Linwood.
La pregunta fue la siguiente. La pregunta fue la siguiente. ¿Cómo ustedes pueden abogar para las familias que tienen servicios caros? Y Araceli dijo que sí, la meta es traerles servicios, identificar las barreras que se les presentan a los padres. Y Zoe se ha encargado de recaudar información para planes más accesibles. Después dijo el doctor G. Puse un enlace en el chat en el cual hay un programa que ofrece beneficios de parte de la Comisión Federal de Comunicación. Agregaría que estamos trabajando en conjunto con la ciudad de Linwood para ofrecer opciones y precios más competitivos.
We hope that you join us at the meeting on the 23rd and provide us more information. So thank you for your questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to turn my mic on. This is Sophia Urias. I had a quick question. For Apex Learning, who would we contact for support on that?
So you can actually contact your child's teacher to Apex. Is this at the high school? Which high school? Fireball?
Yes, it would be Fireball High School. For some reason, she gets a login, and then the next day she tries to sign in, and that login doesn't work anymore. So it's like she's able to log in one day, and then she has to email her teachers. Takes a while for them to email back, so she's not able to check it right away. So I'm not sure what's going on with her, but is there some type of like tutoring on that, or some type of, can she go to the school site and meet with someone there so they can kind of show her how to work it, or what to check, or how to check it?
She can do that, and if you can email me or Engaging Families right here, is
Okay.
that just right there, and that way we can make sure that we follow up on it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You got it.
Y la última pregunta, bueno, un comentario antes. Esperamos que se reúnan con nosotros el 23 de septiembre para más información respecto a conectividad económica. Para el aprendizaje de IPEX, ¿a quién contactamos para apoyo? El doctor G dijo que se contactarían con la maestra respectiva o maestro del estudiante, o pónganse en contacto con el doctor G o engagingfamilies@mllusd.org.
Well, we thank all of you. And again, like Dr. G said, if any other additional question, you think of it after today's presentation, please take note of our email, and we will be happy to assist you in any way that we can. If we don't know the answer, we'll make sure to refer you to someone who can support you.
Les damos las gracias, y si tienen preguntas adicionales, con mucho gusto les responderemos. Si no tenemos la información apropiada, les dirigiremos a una persona que les pueda contestar de una forma más informativa.
Thank you, Ms. Montañez, for your